Hi, Sandra here again, and I am going to make a lasagna using cabbage for the noodles. And to start off with, I took and cut around the core so that I pop the core out. It'll make it cook a little bit quicker than with the steam being able to get. And I'm going to just steam it. So I'm rigging up a big kettle, and my steamer, this is too tall so it wouldn't fit in, but if I put this in, which has holes in, upside down and set it in there, I can set the cabbage right on top. And then I'll add some water in the bottom. I'm adding about a pint. And then we will put the lid on it, and we will steam this for a while. And this will take a little while to steam, so I'll pause it. And in the meantime, I've got my hamburger thawing out in the microwave because I'm going to use hamburger. And I've got bread in the oven because I'm making it for my mom. And my recipes are all marked up because you can check that recipe. This is the bread recipe I used. And sometimes I make it keto, sometimes I make it low gluten-free. Right now for my mom, what's in the oven is a gluten-free. She had a whole bunch of flour upstairs. I was doing all keto for her, but she had a bunch of flour upstairs. I thought I better use it up. There's no sense of it going to waste. So I've been using up her flours and been making her bread with no sodium. She can't chew the nuts, so what I've been putting in hers instead of the nuts is hemp seed or hemp hearts. And the hemp hearts, what that does is it's high in protein, and because she can't chew very good, she don't get much protein in her diet. So I'm doing her breads to try to help her diet out. So, but anyway, right now I'm making the low-carb lasagna noodles, which is not for my mom because cheeses are not low sodium, so we can't do that for her. But me and my husband, we both do the low carb. I've been on low carb. It was actually keto back in 2004. Lost a ton of weight, and like 70 some pounds. And now it's time to just stay on it in order to keep from gaining the weight back. So yeah, that's what I do is I eat low carb. So it's going to be the cabbage. I love lasagna, and I miss lasagna. But I've had this before. Somebody else made it, and I thought, wow, that is good. So this is the first time I've actually personally made it. So we'll see how it turns out, but it should be simple. Just basically I'm following the same recipe I would normally use for lasagna, only I'm using cabbage for the noodles. So it's low carb. It's not a super low carb because I am going to use the lowest carb sauce because my tomatoes, we had a freeze early spring, so my first tomatoes froze off. Then I planted tomatoes, and they were like this high when I put them in the ground. And so they're starting to produce, but they're not ready yet. So, and on top of it, we have a drought. So all my cucumbers are dead. No cucumbers. I lost one of my zucchini from the drought. It's really a bad drought this year. Probably the worst I've seen in my life. And I'm a great grandma, so this is a lot of years, and it is the worst. We have a beef cattle ranch. It is not good. A lot of farmers are selling their cows because they can't feed them. So, but this year, so far, we're hanging on. We still got some pasture yet. Don't know what we're going to feed them come winter because there's not much hay. But we're kind of isolated in a little strip that's drought. We're praying and hoping that other people have a bunch of hay that we'll be able to buy. I know it's going to be higher priced, but it is what it is. We've made it through many years. I've always stood by the Bible verse, all things work together for good to those that love and trust the Lord, Romans 8:28. And it has helped me through many situations, other droughts, health issues, everything. It all worked out for good in the long run. So anyway, here we are, and I will say goodbye for right now and finish steaming this, and I'll get the meat cooking here shortly, and I'll turn it back on for that. Well, I'm back, and my microwave just beeped. Hamburgers should be thawed out. Normally I thaw it out ahead of time. I don't like using the microwave any more than I have to, but I wanted something to eat tonight, and I have to run to the store this afternoon, so I'll take the meat out and trim the tops off, and then squeeze it into my, I got my grandmother's old cast iron skillet is what my go-to is for cooking. I love it. There's a little trick with a cast iron, though. You don't want to wash out it's treated so it don't stick. I don't have any trouble with this sticking because I just wash it out with water. If you use soap, then you have to retreat it every time, and that gets to be a pain. Our ancestors didn't retreat. They just washed it out with water, and nobody ever got sick from it. So usually what's in it is oils, and oils don't really spoil anyway because it's the, the fat from your food. So it's not like you're going to get sick from it. So basically I'm going to chop this here all up, cook it. I have an induction burner. I love my induction burners. Use that instead of a stovetop. I like it because if I'm called out for an emergency or something going on the farm that they need me to put cows in or something, it automatically shuts off. So it's not like it's going to keep burning and burn the house down or anything. So they are really handy to have. So I'm going to cook that. The cabbage is still cooking here. It actually wasn't, the outside leaves was cooking, but it wasn't cooking in. And I got to thinking, it's not like I need the whole leaf of the head. So I decided to quarter it and then go from there. And my breaker just went out. So I'm guessing I'm going to have to move one of my induction burners over there because it's too much power on this circuit. I will catch you later after I get this fixed. Well, here I am. I'm back. I've got the hamburger almost browned. My microwave, or my oven here, just shut off, and Mom's bread is ready. So I'm going to take it out. And I always put parchment paper just down the middle, and then all I have to do is the edges, I'll go just like so, and grab the paper, lifts right out, and then put it on the cooling rack. And that is out, and I'll let it cool, and then I'll slice it up for my mom and put it in a plastic bag, and she'll have bread for a week. Well, maybe not quite a week. She eats quite a bit of bread. And yep, this is almost done. And in the meantime, I got my my noodles all done. And as you can see, I've got my first layer already layered in. Just a little dab more cooking here, and then and when I buy the lowest carb that I can find. I always look at the carbs because they all seem to have sugar. I'm sure that now that there's more keto out there, maybe I could find some without any sugar. That there would be my go-to if I could find it. But this one here has the least amount of sugars added, so that's what I use. Oh my. Now I'm going to wish my husband was here. Trick. Pound it on the edge of your counter. Loosens the seal. Pops right off. So I'm going to mix this right in with my hamburger now. And then stir it up. And I'm going to use cottage cheese today instead of, what is the other one you can use, provolone or whatever it is, I don't know. I usually use cottage cheese myself. It seems like what I usually have on hand. I don't run to town for something. I use what I have because it's 20 miles to town. So $2 thing of cottage cheese or whatever would be, add $20 for wear and tear and fuel, and yeah, it'd be pretty expensive. So I pretty much use what I have on hand. Sometimes I do a lot of substituting, and sometimes I just have, and I don't have to just substitute at all. Recipes are just a guideline. It's not a hard truth that you have to follow it exactly as it is. You kind of look at it, substitute. Like for zuppa, I substitute radishes instead of potatoes. Well, radishes are low carb, potatoes are not. So it's alter your recipes. So basically I'm going to take and I'm going to add some hamburger on top of my noodles here. We'll call them noodles. It's cabbage. And we'll layer this right in. Okay. A little bit of cottage cheese on top of that. I only have about half of this, so we'll just take it easy and not put too much on because we want to layer it in several layers. Just use what we have. And then I'll do a layer of mozzarella cheese. Then we're going to do another layer of the cabbage. Yeah, it's good, just as well that I quartered it because a whole piece of leaf would not lay flat in my thing, so. Yep, this here actually looking like it's going to be pretty good. But another, I'm going to turn this down because it's, okay, another layer of, I think I'm going to get 3 layers out of this. That's what I usually like to do is 3 layers, so. Okay, and then we'll do some more cottage cheese. Okay, and some more mozzarella. I got a very large bag of mozzarella cheese at one of them free food handout things. And I bagged them all into small bags and put them in the freezer. And this was a while ago, and this is my last package. So, and then I just took them out of the freezer as I needed them. So now we are going to, now we're getting into some of the smaller pieces. And I won't be using all of this up, but I can use the rest for something else. Nothing else, just cook cabbage. Fried cabbage with, oh, let me see. There's a lot of things I could do with fried cabbage. I could put some summer sausage with it. Yeah, so I like fried cabbage too. So I like cabbage in a lot of different ways. So we're going to put plenty on here. These littler pieces will fit in my edges good. Yep, that's going to be good. Now, I'm going to turn this off and put the last of my meat on. And I wish you could see, I don't know how to set my iPad up so that you could see my face and that. It's kind of hard to do it that way. So, but I'll grab the iPad and then I'll show you what it looks like, or else I'll tip it. That works too. So, okay. Now we will put the last of the cottage cheese on. Scrape it all out good. I use, this is full fat cottage cheese. The fat from dairy is not bad for you. The fats that are bad for you is the man-made fats. If God made it, it's good. Like your vegetable oils, not good for you. So, but your natural ones, like that in cottage cheese, that in beef, especially if it's corn, not corn-fed. Beef don't get the bad fats till you feed it corn. Then it gets the bad fats. Otherwise, beef, grass-fattened beef is as high in omega-3s as salmon. So it's got the good fats until the critters fed corn, which most feeders feed corn because it's quick and cheap. Takes a year longer to fatten something on grass, and so it's not as cheap for them to do. So they make the most money, and that's why it's more expensive to buy the grass fed, because it's more expensive to do. So we're going to add the last of my cheese on here, my mozzarella. And I'm going to have to get more mozzarella cheese because now I'm out. But this is what it looks like. And then I'll put this in the oven for half an hour and we will have lasagna. Well, I'm back. And the lasagna just got done, so I'll take it out of the oven. Set it on the cooling rack here. There it is. And let it cool for just a second here. And I'm going to get a plate. And I'm going to cut it. We're going to see how good it is. Okay. Don't think I cut it very good. Doesn't cut quite as easy. It's hot, really hot, so. Noodles cut a little easier. Okay, I think I got a piece cut. Looks good. I've had it before and it's very good. So, blow on a little. It's hot. It's just out of the oven. Yep, it's good. Not really time to eat yet, but it's good. And I haven't had breakfast, and it's 10:34, so guess it don't hurt to eat. It's good. A little bit more crunch to the cabbage. Maybe if I would have cooked it longer, it would have been softer, but who wants mush? So it's really good flavor. And I have Mom's bread. And here's a slice, the heel. And she won't mind if I take a little bit. I will say that the original recipe that called for almond flour is moister, and I think is better than this made with the gluten-free flour. But the flavor is still good. Definitely worth. I know why Mom eats over a loaf a week. I got 14 slices, so that's 2 slices a day if it's a week. It is good. But like I say, a little drier than when I use the almond flour. It's by far better when I do it keto than it is the gluten-free. But it's good. We found some almond butter at Costco that has no salt added. So it's sodium free, and she likes to put that on it, and that's really good on it. So if you like what you see, subscribe, like it, and share it, and I will see you on some more videos. Thanks for watching.